Good afternoon. Today I'm going to tell you about the final accounts adjustments. Okay, before going to adjustments, we have to know what is this adjustments. Okay, how they will be and what other things. See, after preparation of trial balance, every organization they will plan to prepare the final accounts. Trading organizations, manufacturing organizations, and service organizations also they'll try to prepare the final accounts. Okay, when they prepare basing upon the trial balance and receipts and payments account, well and good. But the thing is, some of the items will come, okay, after preparation of trial balance. So when they appear after preparation of trial balance, again we cannot go back and when we cannot redraft the trial balance because already the trial balance will be tallied. So whatever it may be the items that are appearing for that year will appear as will appear separately and we will call them as adjustments, and all the adjustments we have to incorporate into the final accounts because they belong to that particular year. So when they belong to that particular year, compulsory we have to incorporate them in the final accounts in order to know the correct results. So these amounts which are appearing apart from trial balance and are known as adjustments, they must be incorporated in the books. And one thing, all the gains, incomes, losses, and expenses, whatever we come across, we have to take them and we have to incorporate them in the final accounts. And don't be of that opinion that they should be shown separately. Whenever they belong to that particular year, you have to incorporate those items in that year only. There should not be any carry forward. Okay, there should not be any carry forward of these things, of these items. They must be incorporated in the same year, okay, when you are preparing the final accounts. And well, I mean, these adjustments, how many are there? There are so many adjustments, Amma. Don't be of that opinion. There are one, two, three, four, like that. There are not some limited adjustments. You will come across so many adjustments. And every adjustment, mind it, when you are incorporating in final accounts, they must have and they will have twofold effect. They will have twofold effect. And that is, at two places they will come. At two places they will come. Sometimes you will come across threefold effect also. Sometimes, and it is very in rare cases, you will come across threefold effect. But generally speaking, you will come across twofold effect. When you are coming across twofold effect, okay, you have to show them either in trading account or profit and loss account. That is one effect, and the second one is they will have its effect in the last statement, that is nothing but balance sheet. Either it must be shown on the liability side or on the asset side. Okay, that is the second effect. Okay, like this, every adjustment, whether it is an income or an expenditure or gain or loss, whatever it may be, compulsory you have to think about twofold effect. Okay, compulsory you have to think about twofold effect. So this twofold effect is very important, and every person they have to remember the twofold effects when you are going for adjustments, and you have to do the twofold effect procedure, and thereby you will come across a correct result of the final accounts. This is how you have to go for the adjustments. And in the adjustment, the first and foremost one is closing stock. Closing stock is also known as unsold stock left with us. And this closing stock or unsold stock, it will be in quantities. When it is in quantities, you have to value that and you have to show that in the books of accounts. And you must be very cautious when you are going for valuation of closing stock. When you are going for valuation of closing stock, you have to take into account two prices. One is cost price and second one is market price. And you have to compare the cost price and market price. And whichever is less, you have to value at that price only. Whatever it may be, the quantity you are having at that less price only, you have to value and you have to take that amount into the books of accounts. And you may ask me, sir, if we value at higher price, what will happen? Nothing will happen, but you are going to lose your profit amount. Because whatever it may be the closing stock of last year, it will become the opening stock of this year. And once you have to, once, okay, you have to sell this opening stock, then only you have to think about the production. Without selling the opening stock, you cannot think about the other production units. So, first of all, you have to sell. And when you are valuing at higher price, and sometimes due to some circumstances, when the price, market prices of this year, when they come down, then you are the person who is going to lose the profit, because the prices are less and you valued the opening stock at a higher price, so naturally you are going to lose the profit amount. That's why, okay, people what they will think is, okay, let us take into account the cost price or market price, whichever is less, and we have to value the stock. And what is the effect that we come across? When closing stock, when it is appearing in trial balance, when it is appearing in trial balance, 90% it won't appear, but by chance if it appears in trial balance, then you have to take the closing stock to the balance sheet and you have to show that on the asset side of the balance sheet. This is the only adjustment, that this is the only thing that you have to do. There is no necessity for you to show that closing stock in trading account. Directly you have to take the closing stock and you have to show that in balance sheet on the asset side. Suppose when you come across this closing stock as an adjustment, then you have to take into account the twofold effect. It must be shown on the credit side of trading account. First effect is. The second effect is it must be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. This is about the twofold effect that we come across regarding closing stock. And this valuation of closing stock, don't be of that opinion that it is for intermediate. For every standard, whether it may be intermediate, degree, PG, and other professional courses, whatever it may be, the method is same, one and the same. Closing stock must be valued at cost price or market price, whichever is less. This thing you should not forget. Okay. Now, after this closing stock, we are going for outstanding expenses. That is second adjustments. Okay, some expenses they will appear, they will come after preparation of trial balance. Okay, and they must be shown separately as an adjustment. And when you come across outstanding expenses as an adjustment, okay, the twofold effect for this outstanding expenses is they must be added to the concerned expenditure either in trading account or in profit and loss account on the debit side only. On the debit side only. For example, if you come across outstanding wages, these outstanding wages they must be added to the wages account. Okay, they must be added to the wages account on the debit side of trading account, and the net amount only you have to show in the outer column. Suppose if you come across outstanding salaries, the same outstanding salaries they must be added to the concerned salaries account on the debit side of profit and loss account. Okay, you may ask me, sir, suppose if this outstanding expenses when they appear in trial balance, When they appear in trial balance, directly you have to show that amount on the liability side of the balance sheet. Then you won't come across any twofold effect. Directly you can take to liabilities and you have to show that on the liability side of the balance sheet. But when you come across as an adjustment, this twofold effect must be taken into account. This is the second adjustment that we come across. And what is the third one? Unexpired expenses or prepaid expenses. They are just contrary to contracts, or that is opposite to outstanding expenses. Okay, unexpired expenses or prepaid expenses are those expenses which we receive, which are paid in advance, which are paid in advance. So those things only we'll call them as unexpired expenses or prepaid expenses. Okay, when you come across prepaid expenses in trial balance, they must be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. When they are appearing as an adjustment, then twofold effect will come into picture. What we have to do? This prepaid expenses, whatever it may be, you must deduct that from the concerned expenditure on the debit side of profit and loss account. See, I am not talking about trading account, please. I am talking about profit and loss account. The prepaid expenses, whatever you come across as an adjustment, it should be deducted from the concerned expenditure on the debit side of profit and loss account, and the net amount only you have to show in the outer column. And again, the second effect is it will appear on the asset side of the balance sheet. The prepaid expenses, that is whatever it may be the adjustment amount, it will appear on the asset side of the balance sheet. This is the third adjustment that we are coming across. And the fourth one is outstanding income or accrued income. Outstanding income or accrued income is nothing but the income to be received. The income to be received. It is nothing but accrued income or outstanding income. When you come across in trial balance, it will appear on the asset side of the balance sheet directly. When we come across as an adjustment, first of all, you have to take the concerned income, and this accrued income or outstanding income, it will be added to the concerned income on the credit side of profit and loss account, and the net amount only you have to show in the outer column. That is the first effect. The second effect is whatever it may be the accrued income or outstanding income, you have to show on the asset side of the balance sheet. On the asset side of the balance sheet. Don't forget this. Okay, next, income received in advance. This is the fifth one that we come across. Okay, the adjustment is itself, it is telling that income received in advance. When you get the income, that is nothing but income received in advance. Okay, for example, I'm going to give you, if you go and join in any concern, okay, and when you get some money from your boss, some income, it is nothing but income received in advance. How? Because you just joined that. You didn't work it over there, but you are getting money. That is nothing but income received in advance. If it is appearing in trial balance, it will appear on the liability side of the balance sheet. Okay, when it is appearing as an adjustment, what are the twofold effects that we come across? It should be deducted from the concerned income on the credit side of, it should be deducted from the concerned income on the credit side of profit and loss account. And the same thing, it must be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. This is the fifth adjustment that we come across. And what is the sixth one? The sixth one is very, very important, and that is nothing but depreciation. What is this depreciation? Wear and tear amount is nothing but depreciation. Or reducing in the value of the asset is nothing but depreciation. And this depreciation you will come across in any way. Okay, due to time bar, due to obsolescence, in any way you will come across this depreciation. But this depreciation, it is nothing but a charged loss. Mind it. It is nothing but a charged loss. It is not a trading loss at all. It is nothing but a charged loss, and compulsory this loss you have to take into account. And what is the twofold effect for this? This depreciation amount, whatever it may be, it must appear, or you have to show that on the debit side of profit and loss account. Only depreciation amount, mind it, only depreciation amount only you have to show that on the debit side of profit and loss account. That is the first effect. The second effect is it should be deducted from the concerned asset on the asset side of the balance sheet. It should be deducted from the concerned asset on the asset side of the balance sheet. And you may ask me, so whether we'll come across depreciation on fixed assets or on current assets? No, my dears. Depreciation will appear only on fixed assets. Depreciation will have its effect only on fixed assets but not on current assets. So whatever it may be, the depreciation, you must be very careful in this. Okay, and when we go for accounting standard 6, it will discuss about depreciation in detail, and we are going to learn this depreciation in the coming classes. At present, take this as an adjustment and do that. Okay, next I am going to continue this within a short span. Thank you.